What is going on, guys? Welcome back to For Misery Gaming. We're getting another video today of Dragalia Lost. And today, guys, we just got our new update, some news in the game. So this is in your news section. I'm going to be going over some units to bring for this new raid event. We are going to be having dropping, I believe, on the 31st or the 1st. It may be at like 2 in the morning on the 1st, because that would make sense, because that's when the current Halloween banner does go away. So you guys do have a couple more days if you guys still want to try to pull Elisane, even though her event is gone. It ended this morning. She's still a phenomenal light unit, one of the best all-around DPSers just in general for her utility. So if you guys haven't gotten her, you may still want to pull her, especially if you guys have a pretty good fire team already. If you guys pulled on the Ezreal banner, or if you pulled Makoto, Ezreal, or some of the other good units, which we will go over. I believe we're going to hit 5 units today, or 5 or 6 units, to talk about what you guys can bring for your team compositions. So, but anyway, Kindness and Captivity is going to be the event. It is going to be a wind-based raid, and it seems that it's going to be the exact same kind of setup as Loyalty Requiem. So it says here, Prince, you've got to do something. My friend Nelson needs our help. Her village was raided by those Empire jerks, and the dragon that protects them was captured. Melsa doesn't deserve this. We have to help her. Coming soon to Dragalia Lost. So, anyway, Melsa is going to be... I believe, where did she go? Right. No. Oh, okay. That's awkward. So, this is her. I don't know why we don't have the actual screenshot of her in our Discord. I thought they posted all the images. But anyway... that is going to be her. She is most likely going to be just like Celery, which means she has a good probability of being fire, but she could be wind as well. So, because I believe she is rumored to be a dagger unit, and we already do have quite a bit of dagger units in the pool for fire, but it would make sense if she's fire, because that is going to be a unit that's going to help you with the event. And I believe Celery is still ranked as either a tier 2 or tier 3 unit, even after we got the Halloween update, after we kind of been able to dive into her usefulness. But if it's the same thing, basically you're going to have to get her up to a friendship level, which is just by, you get your friendship level just by playing the event, the regular missions, plus the raids and co-ops and all that stuff. So usually you can get that done within the first like 2 or 3 hours. So she's most likely going to be a 4-star hero, so that's really cool. We're going to get a free 4-star hero. Then you guys are going to be able to get the exclusive 5-star dragon. If it's the same concept as before, you probably are going to be able to get a couple copies from the gacha, and maybe 1 or 2 copies from the rewards. If it's the same system, you're going to get silver, bronze, and gold amulets or trophies or whatever you want to call them, and basically you're going to be able to exchange them. Hopefully we don't have to go in and actually exchange every time we get enough materials. Hopefully it's going to be like the Halloween event, where it's just sent to you into your inventory once you reach that milestone. So that would be cool. But there is still no actual confirmation. It is going to be gacha based. That's just what we assume, but it could be completely exactly like the Halloween event, to where it's all, exchange-based, not gacha-based. So, but I prefer the gacha definitely more. And then you guys can see here, this is going to be co-op only. This is going to be the main part of the raid. This will probably be for Expert and EX once again, and where you got to bring as many units as possible. And this guy just has like lots of units all over the place. He's got light units, water units. You guys see a Zanfried over there. So, I would not recommend bringing any water units. They are going to die pretty fast, because it is going to be a wind-based enemy. So definitely don't do that. So let's hop over now, guys. We're going to go ahead and hop over to basically the Game Press site, and we're going to basically be showing you guys some different units that you guys can potentially bring. So let me go ahead and set that up real fast. There we go. My thing wants to actually work. Okay. So there we go. All right. Cool beans. All right. So anyway, these are the units that we have currently. And obviously, I would assume that the banner is going to have a new 5-star unit, fire unit. And it is most likely going to be a DPS or utility unit, as we saw with Lily and with Elisane. So... but let's start off. Makoto is probably going to be the best 5-star DPSer. He's probably one of the hardest hitters in the game. So he has massive elemental damage output, as you guys can see here. He's #1 ranked, 1 out of 68 in strength, 30 out of 68 in HP. 740 HP is that's like the average, I would say, at max HP for a 5-star unit. But 520 strength base is really, really good. He has the highest strength in the game, and as the highest, he serves the party as a high-powered DPS unit. And then it says, his somewhat lower HP makes him function closer to a glass cannon who will rely on either healers or mobility. But since the best healer for this event is going to be Verica, since she's only a 4-star, a lot of team comps are probably going to have her. So you may see a lot of people with multiple Vericas in their party. Like, everyone may have a Verica in their party as a healer to be using on their sideline, because their heals are going to be really good. Her first ability heal is very similar to the heal from Hildegard, so really, really good. And we will go into her in a little bit as well. They're just saying it competes with Ezlith as far as this is if you are going to be doing co-op with one unit. Many people prefer Ezlith due to Dagger being a bit easier than to use with Blades because you have a little bit more range resistance. So that is the good thing about him. Obviously, those are the dragons, which you guys can all go into. So let's go down to his skills and we'll read that. So Ravenous Fire at level 3, it's going to need to deal 36. So deals 89% strength times 2 flame to enemies directly ahead, and activates Flare Stance. If the attack connects, during Flare Stance, the user's strength is increased. And then after 20 seconds after laying an attack, powered up skill attack. Then when we go into the next, deals 59% damage strength times 3, flame damage to enemies directly ahead, and activates Ruin Stance if the attack connects. During Flare Stance, the user's strength is increased and skills are powered up. Stance ends after 20 seconds, and then after landing a power-up skill attack. So his percentage goes down when he does each of these things, but you guys see it's a ×3 attack, it's a ×2 attack, and then it goes to a 36% strength times 4, and 74% strength, flame damage to enemies directly ahead, and activates Ruin Stance, and then Ruin Stance is, I believe, the first one? No, Flare Stance, okay. So Ruin Stance is on his second and third ability. And then if the attack connects during Flare Stance, the user's strengths increase and strengths are powered up and ends Ruin Stance. So this looks like it's kind of very similar to Elisane. I never really noticed that's how he worked, to be honest, because I don't own him, so I never really went into him. But Makoto is really, really good. I feel you definitely would want to use him if you have him on your team for sure. And then his skill 2 is an attack rate increase by 20 seconds. Only for himself though, so he is not quite as good as Zainfried's skill 2, because Zainfried's skill 2 affects the whole team of 20%. So keep that in mind. But still, really good unit. His abilities are, if your HP is above 70%, you get a 10% crit rate. He has 100% stun resistance. He has an 8% crit rate on it, and then his co-ability is 5% strength. And then if you go to his upgrades, he can go up to a 10% strength for your whole team. So if you have a 50 node or 49 node Makoto, that's going to greatly benefit your party, guys. So keep that in mind. And I have a feeling it's not going to filter, and it didn't filter. So there we go. All right, so now on to Ezlith, which this is probably the most populated character because her banner was the very first banner in the game. So if you guys have been playing since launch, a lot of you probably have her. So, and let's go into, Howling Meter deals 9% of 10 times hits and 42% strength damage to enemies directly ahead. Movement is possible during the attack, so that's pretty cool. And then activates Inferno Mode for 15 seconds. The user gains a strength increase of 15%, and there are normal attacks reduce enemies' defense without fail. So she's a debuffer, which can help if we're going to have body parts again to take down to, like, debuff the, if it's like a tail or a leg or whatever, and they try to kill that as soon as possible. It's the same kind of concept as we had with Loyalty Requiem. Increase the chance of inflicting debuffs by 15%. So, of course, the Flurry Debilitator, up to a 20% strength, when you hit 15 combos, that's going to help more of this. So give you up to a 35% chance to basically inflict and to lower the defense. Oh, the lower defense without fail. So you get a strength increase of 15%, increase the chance of inflicting debuffs by 20%. So I don't know if this would really be relevant because this part actually, because it's a debuff, not a buff. So you're going to get the strength increase with her regardless, and then you're going to get the debuff regardless. So maybe the Flurry Inhibitor or Debilitator is going to be more beneficial for other units. Then she has a Sleep Resistance, and then she has Broken Punisher of 30%, which is really, really good. So if you guys have some other Broken Punisher Worm Prints, I believe I think Sniper's Allure, I believe, had a 20%, if I'm not mistaken, of Broken Punisher if you have it max unbound. So you could, if you put that on her, you could basically have like a 50% Broken Punisher, which could be really crazy once you break the enemy. And then she's got crit rate for being a dagger unit. So there you go. That is Ezalith. So those are the 2 5-star units. So let's go into probably the best 4-star unit and probably the best unit overall to bring for this event is going to be Verica. And that is purely because, one, she's a 4-star, so she's easier to obtain. And then the second is she has a decent high HP and her healing is just crazy. So let's go into her skills so you guys can kind of see. So at level 3, you're going to restore HP to all teammates and remove stun and continues to heal for 15 seconds. So basically, it's very similar to Hildegard's heal. So it's really, really good. And then her other ability is to heal a massive amount of HP to the ally most in need. And what I would recommend doing for her is probably put her in kind of your back row and switch to her when you need to heal. And maybe, obviously, you probably want to have Phoenix on her if you have Phoenix. And then when you need to transform to a dragon, you know, way out if you can DPS or if you need to heal. Because keep in mind, you're going to be healing everybody on the raid, not just your team. So that's why she's really, really good. And that's why universal all-member affected abilities, such as healing and other buffs, are crucially more important than solo buffing one unit. So that's why she's really, really good. And then her abilities helps her healing up to a 15% more heal. She has a stun resistance of 100% and then more recovery potency. So obviously the best, probably one of the better worm prints to give her is going to be a Success Prayer or Give Me Your Wounded. Happier Times is good as well. I believe that's like an 8% recovery potency, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it says does not have recovery potency. It has skill haste and it has skill damage plus 30%. So I would not recommend actually Happier Times. Give Me Your Wounded, I know that has something like a 10% recovery potency at base. 8% at base and then 10% when it is max upgraded. And then helps out your defense, so that's still really good. And then let's look at the other worm print for him. Is Aspect's Prayer is going to be full HP plus 15% healing, and then curse resistance plus 25%. Obviously, the curse resistance isn't going to matter, so maybe Give Me Your Wounded may be better because of that defense increase. The second ability will actually be relevant, but you never know. This entity could do curse too, but I would highly doubt that. This is going to lead. This wind usually leads more on stunning and on paralysis. So I would assume that's what we're going to have. So let's go into one more unit. Obviously, all the 4-stars are relevant to bring depending on your box. But Vanessa is probably going to be the next best DPSer if you don't have, which in my case, if you don't have Makoto or Ezalith. So she deals 93% of strength times 2 hits to enemies directly ahead. And then Crimson Impact deals 80% damage directly ahead and reduces their defense by 5% without fail. So that's pretty cool. She's like she basically looks like a poor man's Ezalith. So if you don't have Ezalith, she's a good, supplement. She has a 40% increase in force strength. She has stun 100%, just like Makoto does. And then buffs strength by 30% for 15%, right? For 15 seconds, when HP drops to 30% once per quest. And increase defense by 7% for your whole team. That's actually pretty cool. That's a cool ability, not like that. 7% in defense. That's really good. So let's go quickly into the other 2 4-stars really quick. I'm not going to go too heavily into them because like these are all, you know, it depends what you have and to fill out your team. So Carl has 62% strength times 2 surrounding enemies, no added effect, increase the entire strength by 15% for 15 seconds. So this is why you may want to bring him because of a 15% for everybody. So keep in mind, Ezzelith is like a 15 or 20% to just her, but you're going to get 15% to all your guys, which is awesome. And then increase strength by 4, it goes up to 5% for every 5 enemies defeated, up to 5 times per quest. So it doesn't say it only lasts for seconds, so what I would assume is that can go up to a 20% strength increase once you defeat that amount of enemies. But because this is a raid and you're not going to be defeating enemies, actually Slayer's strength is not going to be probably relevant, unfortunately. He has the 100% sleep resist like Ezzelith does, and then increase your strength by 8% when your HP is high, so you get an 8% strength increase, and then Dragon Haste, increase your Dragon Gauge by 5%, which is pretty cool, and that does go up to 11%, but you probably are not going to want to use your water on him, to be honest, till really, really late game when you've had a chance to use your water on a lot of other units, in my opinion. You probably want to hold off on that. So the very last character to wrap up the video is going to be the starting character, which everyone has him, obviously, so it's good to go over him for what he can bring to the table. So at level 3, he does 62% of 2 hits to all surrounding enemies, and then deals 106% strength damage to enemies in a line, and reduces their defense by 5% without fail. So just, I believe that was similar to Carl, if I'm not mistaken, that we just went over. And then Shapeshift increase time, which is always good to increase your duration time. And then you can use 3 times Dragon Claws each time you transform. So, and then he has the 100% stun resistance. Player EXP is not going to be relevant, and then Dragon Haste as well. So he's still good, but I probably, because of the strength buff, he probably is the lowest on the tiers. So, like, for me, I actually don't even have a good 4th fire unit, so I actually need to pull either Ezzelith, Makoto, or probably the new unit. So I only have the 4 stars right now. So that's where I'm at. So I need to pull Makoto, Ezzelith, or whatever the new featured is. I have Verica, Yuden, and Carl. So otherwise I'd have to bring a 3-star, which I really don't want to do. So I'm going to try to not have to do that. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the video of how I think you guys should prepare. I would say if everyone has a Verica, bring your Verica. Work on your Verica now. Because she's also probably the most versatile units you guys can use for HSM, for High Midgar Swarm. So you definitely want to be working on her. I would say if you guys are going to promote any unit in the game, unless you have Hildegard or something like that, I would say she's like your #1 option to promote to a 5-star. So thank you guys so much for checking out the video today. Please do leave a like, comment down below, subscribe as always if you guys are new to the channel, and I hope you guys are going to have fun over the next 5 or 6 days preparing for this event, farming your resources. But thank you guys so much for the continued support as always. This is Fort Misery Gaming, and we'll see you guys in the comment section down below. Peace out, guys.